So this is US oil analysis for Tuesday the 14th of November, US oil, also known as WTI. So let's just have a quick look what happened with prices. At the moment we're in a bit of a low volatility period. Let's just grab the pen. As we can see here, since essentially from about the 7th, from the 7th of November up to now, the 14th. Over this 7-day period, we've not really seen much price, anything in regards to price action. We did have in around the crude oil inventories, we did have a spike in around that period of time in the API, but ever since then we've been in a very tight range. The market doesn't, after an extended run to the upside, the market does seem to be having a bit of a rest here before deciding where it's likely to go, and whether it's going to be a continuation to the upside or a breakdown and a retracement before more upside possible momentum or a turnaround. So let's have a look at potential targets. Now, at present, the upside target, as we are in an uptrend, and as I'll show on the higher time frames, I have to look for potential upside targets. So if we do pull back, we've got a 200 period moving average here in blue, sitting around this $56 a barrel, and below that we've got the top of the previous range. The top of the channel for that range is 55.21. So if we do see a further retracement, we're looking for buying momentum coming in at 55.21. Our upside targets in around this 58.28. We've also got 58.56. So in and around that zone, we can just see some retracement, and we could see some retracement in around this zone, possibly back down to I couldn't imagine prices would move from a 58.56 all the way back down to, say, 55.21. We might break all the way down to the 57 the $57 a barrel oil price. Ultimately, our ultimate target is up at $60 a barrel, and we expect to get there. If we do get a continued bullish price action we have seen over the past couple of weeks, we'll be expecting the $60 a barrel to come into focus within the next let's see where we are, 58. If we didn't have this pretty low volatility period just here, we would have been, and we did have the continuation that we have had in the past, we would have been pretty close to the $60 a barrel mark. But due to this low volatility period, we're not sure how long it will last. So we could potentially, we're looking for $60 a barrel, possibly by Christmas. Let's just put on the charts, possibly by Christmas or early spring 2018. We're looking for $60 a barrel if we don't have a catalyst which have us break down, have us break down in to the down. Well, we have a breakdown to the downside. It's tripping over my words there. So we're ultimately looking for $60 a barrel before we could potentially see some selling momentum coming to the market. We do have the 200 period moving average as well, in around that 58 mark. So we'll see how if we get much of a reaction to that 200 period moving average on the weekly time frame. I think it is. I'm just gonna have a quick look just to make sure. Yes, it's on a weekly time frame, 200 period moving average at 58.56. So we're just gonna go back down to the hourly, and let's have a look at downside targets. If we do break down in prices, if we do see a breakdown in prices, we are looking at possibly this 200 period moving average just here in blue. Currently sitting at 56, and we're currently about 70 cents away from that. And below that, we've got 55.73, which is a weekly pivot. And that's if we do break down away from that, because our oil is pretty volatile. We're looking at from breaking the range previously. The top of the range was at 55.21, so it may act as support as yes, act as resistance to the past for a potential upside momentum. 55.21, below which we've got the 400 period moving average and the 54.07. As we're all the way up at 56.70, I can't imagine 54.07 will come into focus on the 14th, but it is something we have to be aware of, as oil can be volatile, especially if there is a news event or if there is an unscheduled news event. So 54 to the downside, but ultimately I wouldn't imagine prices would trade much below 55.21. Again, we're looking for minor levels of support, but our overall bias is to the upside. Now, if we have a look at the daily chart, let's just have a quick look. So the daily chart, and let's get the scale on here correct. some reason it hasn't got the auto scaling on. So we're just going to grab a pen. So we can see here we've got our lows. We've got a series of higher lows and higher highs, and we've had these. We had a bit of consolidation around at 52.22, and we broke out, and we have pretty much not looked back. Now at present on this daily chart here, we can see that we are having a bit of a pullback. Just there. Having a bit of a pullback. We've got wicks to either side, so there hasn't been a. It doesn't look symptomatic of a reversal. We don't have a sizable candles to the downside, indicating a pretty much the bulls have abandoned the market and the bears have complete control. So because of that, due to the fact that we have got candles with small bodies and wicks to either side, there seems to be a contraction of volatility. Volatility contraction. In light of this most recent trend, I would expect a break to the upside in a volatility contraction such as this. A volatility contraction. I'll be looking for prices to move up to that $60 a barrel ultimately, but our first target at the moment is in around at 58.28 and 58.56. So I'd possibly say 14 points on there. We'll be looking at around 58.40. In around 58.40, we'll be looking at see our prices react to 58.40, and whether we do see an opportunity, well, where we do see a deeper retracement from in around a 58.40 zone. So that would be in around 58.40, but ultimately the contraction volatility is pretty much forming a bit of a bull flag. We're expecting continuation to the upside. So we're going to have a quick look at the weekly time frame before wrapping up here on the US oil. On the weekly time frame, and again, it's let's get on here correct. We can see it is in a pretty strong trend. So we've got our lows over here, and we've had pullbacks, but the overall trend has been pretty strong. More recently, we've had 5 consecutive weeks of bullish price action. We do look poised for a possible 6th, but we are cautious due to the fact that we have had an extended run up to this point. So that should wrap up the US oil analysis for Tuesday the 14th of November. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Ooh.